Good evening. I'd like to briefly show the process. I've given you an idea of how to edit pages, create pages, navigate the site a little bit on a previous video. And in this video, I'd like to talk about inserting documents and inserting PDFs. For the portfolio, you'll need to insert quite a few documents, PDFs, as I've talked about in class. So you'll need to be able to do that. I'm going to keep this video hopefully fairly short, since you can tell I'm losing my voice in this particular case, but this is when the time worked out to do it. So again, I'm going to provide you with a couple of reminders. If you look at the previous video, these tabs, I just want to emphasize again that these are generic tabs that I've set up for you to have your planning portfolio, but you will need to make your own tabs, make your own pages and subpages, which I'll explain on a subsequent video. But right now I just want to talk about inserting documents and inserting PDFs. There's a bit of a process for inserting those. So if I'm going to pick one of the pages, and I'm going to go back to the pencil where it says edit page. I'm picking one of the tabs, going back to the pencil where it says edit page. So I go to loading editor. Now you see different ways that we're approaching this. If you give me just a second here, I want to make sure this is minimized. Okay, thank you. You see the different various text boxes. Remember that you can look at and do different types of text boxes up here under layout. However, however you just choose to lay it out. Now, let's say you want to insert a document. I'm just going to pick a document that I have in Drive. It doesn't matter what document for the purposes of the demonstration. Obviously, you're going to have different documents, like, for example, your college comparisons and so on. So, what's coming up? So, let's look at this. I'll just pick on Kylie's for a second, college comparison and paragraph. So then, I'm going to click on Save. Insert border around it. The height and the width should be okay. 100% width. Height 600 pixels. So then you'll notice that this particular document is, you'll say, oh crap, I can't see it. Well, one difference with Google Sites, remember, is that you have to hit Save for things to show up. So now we've got that saved. And then Kylie's start on her college comparisons is coming up, even though I did put it in the wrong spot. I just wanted to show how to insert a Google Doc. So she's got her comparison in there, nicely laid out, and we inserted it as a doc. So let's say I was putting the paragraph in. Well, then what I would do, ideally, in that situation, is I would go back to edit page, and underneath or on top, I would probably put my paragraph. For example, using, if I was the paragraph that's required to go with the comparison. Thank you, Kylie, for letting me use your thing as an example, even though I didn't ask you, because I saw it in my shared drive there. So that's how you insert a Google Doc. Now, remember in class, we've gone through lots of PDFs, and I've gone through quite a few PDFs that need to be inserted into the portfolio. A little bit of a different process for inserting PDFs. I'm going to use the same page, but if I want to insert a PDF, I have to do it in a little different way. If you go to, if you'll notice when you go up to insert and the different Google products that you can insert, there's not any way to insert a PDF, an image, a link, a subpage listing. You can insert all those, but there's not any way to insert a PDF. So there's a way to do it, but we need to pay attention here, and you'll get, I'm confident you'll get it down once you see it. You may have to go back and replay this a little bit to get it to get the hang of it the first time. Excuse me. So without further ado, if you'll notice up here when we're on the edit boxes button, up here, when we're editing, we're in edit mode again. We clicked on the pencil. We had our text box and our cursors in our text box. We click on HTML, edit HTML source. There is a bunch of gobbledygook here, if you will. If we delete that gobbledygook and we go to another, if we go out to our drive, and I'm going to show you the process from the beginning. So if I go to my drive, and remember the College Portfolio Materials folder that I've been going through in class and sharing with you, if you click on one of the PDFs and you were to right click, you might not have to right click, but you may have to right click on preview. In most cases, it might open up for you correctly right away, but if it doesn't, you need to open up preview. So I'm just going to pick one, this 5 tips for incoming freshmen, which is in the form of a PDF. I'm going to pick preview. Now, if you'll notice, what I need to do here is, you'll notice it's showing me a preview. I need to click on pop out, and what it does is it pops out. It may look the same, but it's popping out more options is what it's doing. So you'll notice my options over here changed. There wasn't this option for embed item before because I didn't click on pop out to pop out all the options. So that seems to be important. So if I click on embed item from here, after I've popped out to get more options, if I click on embed item, I've got it gives me a code, an HTML code. And what I need to do is make sure I grab all of this. It can be a little tricky if you're using a touchpad. And then hit Control C. Control C. Control C. I can't say that enough. Control C. You're going to hit to copy it. And then we X out of this, and we'll come back over to our site where we're editing the HTML on another tab in Chrome, and then we'll hit Control V. V as in Victor. And that code appears. If I click on update, it shows me what's called a Google Gadget, so it looks like the doc has been inserted. And if I click on save, ta-da, the page appears. So if I click on pop out, it comes back out to this, but for the purposes of looking at a PDF, I want to look at it right in there. So I can zoom in, but then I have a PDF on my page already there, and that's how you can make a PDF viewable on your screen. Okay, on your screen. You could also make a link to it by inserting a link. So if we were to go back to the page, we could make a list of links or add files at the bottom if we wanted to. But this is a little bit trickier because the files that come up don't necessarily come up when you add files. It doesn't come up in Google Drive, so you'd have to download them down to your H drive if you wanted to add files down here. You can also insert other items such as an image from your web address, uploaded images, or you can look at uploading an image from your computer as well. If you wanted to decorate your portfolio a little bit, you could insert images, which is a nice way to do it. You can also insert things from your drive, spreadsheets, images from your drive as well, if you had saved them to your drive. So this part is inserting from like your hard drive of your computer, your flash drive, and then over here is all the apps that you could insert items on. That is how you can insert HTML, and then also insert so that it's visible on the page, and then also insert docs or any other files that you insert. Now, be careful when you're inserting a Word document onto a Google site. Some of you have your resumes in Word. You're going to probably need to change them into a PDF for the purposes of this, and then re-upload it to Google Docs. If I show you So if I picked, all right, I'm going to just pick my resume here for the purposes of this. And if I click on Save As, and I click on Computer, so that for the purposes of this, notice down here where it gives me different options on my Save As menu. If I click on Save as a PDF, it allows me to save it as a PDF. Now it'll save on my hard drive, and I will need to upload that back to Google Docs. So if you remember how to do that, just as a quick reminder, I'll need to upload that back to Google Drive. So if I go back to my drive and I go to New File Upload, remember that all of my stuff that I would click on would be there, and then your PDF is there. That is if you did your if you did your resume in Word, you're probably going to need to convert it to a PDF, and that's how you do that. Okay, so that should be enough for this particular video. Again, the main thing to take out of this is inserting documents into docs and PDFs into your Google site. Subsequent videos will show inserting some links, will show managing the subpages, a little bit of review of navigation. All right, thank you.